Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me bring myself up here. So good morning to all of you. Listen, you know that little voice in your head that tells you that you're not good enough? Well, in this live stream on today, I'm going to show you 6 types of negative self-talk and how to identify them. All right, hello there, and welcome to Dr. Charity TV. My name is Dr. Charity C. Campbell, and I am better known as Dr. C. I am a doctor of management, a multi-passionate entrepreneur, an organization and development leadership specialist who absolutely loves helping fellow creative professionals unlock their full potential and create the life of their dreams. And today I'm going to talk about something extremely important. You know, our inner dialogues, what we say to ourselves, it often turns into self-fulfilling prophecies. Our thoughts and our experiences shape our inner dialogue. And so we are going to get down to the nitty-gritty with this. We're going to dig deeper on today. And so I ask you to go ahead, share this live stream on this beautiful rainy Monday here in Guangzhou, China. Share this live stream because you never know who may benefit from this, okay? Also, let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're watching the replay, I say thank you so much for tuning in and supporting my work here. Now, a lot of people don't even realize that they are engaging in negative self-talk, but it's actually really common. So if you're feeling down on yourself or you feel like you're not good enough, then this video is definitely for you. So let's go deeper. If you are new here and you're not a part of my DCTV community, please be advised that I am a kingdom believer and an entre leader. So most times I employ quotes of positivity on my live streams and scriptures as well. So with that said, let's take a look at our scripture for today, which is coming from 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. And it reads, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it." Now, I chose this scripture today because it reminds us that we don't have to fall victim to thoughts and negative self-talk that can overpower our minds. When we are faced with the temptation to be negative, whether it be from others or our own negative inner dialogue, we can turn to God for strength and guidance. And then when we do this, He will provide a way of escape so that we can overcome it. You know, Mia Yamanouchi, and I'm really hoping that I'm saying that right, but Mia Yamanouchi said that the way you choose to think and speak about yourself, to yourself and to others, is a choice. It's a choice. You may have spent your whole life talking about yourself in a negative way, but that doesn't mean that you have to continue that path. And you know, for me, by this, I believe that Yamanouchi reminds us that we can choose to adopt a positive mindset and speak positively about ourselves rather than constantly engaging in negative self-talk. Now, are you aware of how many thoughts we think in a given day? I want you to think about this. How many thoughts we think in a given day? Researchers estimate that we think about 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And about 80% of those thoughts are negative. That's a bomb. I just dropped a bomb right there. Are you telling me that 40,000 to 56,000 negative thoughts run through the average person's mind on a daily basis under normal circumstances? That's not talking about if you're in a high stress job, if you're under a lot of pressure, if you lost your job, like normal circumstances. And this isn't even talking about, this is prior to the pandemic. This isn't even talking about circumstances after the pandemic. So Those are a lot. That's a lot of negativity. That's a lot of negative energy. That's a lot of negative thoughts just running through your brain, your mind, nonstop on a daily basis. That's not on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a year. That's a day. So the question is, what is negative self-talk? Now, whether you call yourself names or you talk to yourself, you talk yourself out of trying something new because you're like fearful or whatever. Negative self-talk is that inner voice that we talked about, that inner critic I talked about on my podcast just last week, my podcast episode about silencing, the secret to silencing your inner critic. It's that inner critic that limits your ability to believe in yourself and your abilities and your potential. It diminishes your ability to see situations clearly, make positive changes, and it even lowers your confidence. Now, studies show that our thoughts have both psychological and physical effects on us. And some effects of negative self-talk are psychological, while others are actually physical. Now, psychologically, negative self-talk can cause fear, it can cause anger, it can cause anxiety, guilt, shame, regret, depression, hopelessness, my God, and most commonly, stress. Now, physically, negative self-talk causes your muscles to weaken, bodily reactions to increase stress levels, gastrointestinal and digestive problems, headaches, and so much more. I mean, it's a lot. Our body physically responds to our psychological state of being. That's the negative side. However, when we experience positive self-talk, we flood our brains with endorphins that help us to relax and become more alert and focused on what's important. Not to mention, we also experience positive psychological effects such as being more optimistic and motivated to achieve goals, and also confidence levels shoot through the roof because we have expected outcomes. Now, we're going to briefly take a look at the 6 types of negative self-talk, okay? And the first type of negative self-talk that we are going to look at today is, let me go over here, filtering, okay? Filtering. And as I go over these, I really want you to think about the ones that you experience the most. So filtering is basically focusing on the negative. This is when you can't see anything positive in your situation due to solely focusing on the negative. Now you magnify the negative aspects of a situation and you feel like, there's too much bad, so you fail to identify the good. Okay, so that's filtering. The second kind is the always or never inner dialogue. Now, this is when you find yourself thinking in terms of always, never, every time, everyone, no one, and so on. You think things like, I'll never get a promotion. No one on my team respects me as a leader. I'll never get married. I always find a way to mess things up, and so on. This leads to the next type of negative self-talk, which is personalizing. This is also known as guilt tripping. Okay, so we have personalizing and guilt tripping. Now, guilt tripping or personalizing is when you automatically blame yourself if something bad occurs or you replay bad decisions made in the past. Listen, if this is you, you need to redeem all your saved mileage points from your guilt trips, from your previous guilt trips, and take a trip in a new direction. Okay, hey, sweetheart, good morning. You need to take all of those guilt trips that you've had and you've experienced and redeem those mileage points and take a trip in a new direction. One that will allow you to stop focusing on everything bad that you've ever done to make you feel guilty, ashamed, or feel undeserving of love, happiness, and success. Okay? Now, this is one of these types of negative self-talk that I periodically have to deal with, reminding myself that it is an honor and a privilege to be the woman who transformed from the hot mess that she used to be. Okay. So, and the thing that I just want you to understand is that we shouldn't be held hostage to who we used to be, but we should be proud of the people that we have and are becoming. Now, the fourth type, let's keep it rolling, is called catastrophizing. Now, let me tell you something. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I had to practice this word a couple times when I first started learning this. Was it last year? What's this, 2022? Last year or the year before last? I had to practice that word because I was like, I don't feel like I'm saying it right. But it is catastrophizing. It comes from catastrophe, right? This is because of a catastrophic prediction. This is when you imagine the worst possible outcome in any situation and convince yourself that the negative will inevitably happen. And you come to this conclusion, this catastrophic prediction, without having any factual evidence to support it. You're just literally thinking the absolute worst thing possible to happen. Okay, so that's the fourth type of negative self-talk. The fifth type is called polarizing. Now, this is when you see things in black and white. Okay, this is when you see things in black and white. You believe that there are only good or bad outcomes. There's no in between. There's no in between. A personal example of this that I had to overcome is the way that I rest. Now, I've talked about this periodically, but by nature, I am a workaholic. Hi, my name is Charity, and I'm a workaholic. Hi, Charity. Yeah, that's me. I'm a hustler. I'm a grinder. I'm a go-getter. I'm very ambitious. But I've been this way since I started working as a teenager. And as I was resting off and on while I'm, preparing for this impeccable women's conference, it was, I don't know if I should call it a women's conference or whatever, but while I've been, preparing for this conference, I've been finding little pockets during the day to rest. And I had an epiphany. I have a colleague who stays on my case about taking a break and getting some rest. Last week, I realized that I actually do take breaks to rest, but I do them in bulk. Okay, so hear me out. I grind based on the project deadline I'm working on. And sometimes I don't take a break until I'm satisfied with the outcome. That's me. I grind in bulk. Now, sometimes my project deadlines do tend to overlap and it seems like I'm working back to back, but I make up for it when I take a break. I do absolutely nothing else when I take a break. I obsessively binge on Netflix, Hulu, when I'm in the States, Hulu, or YouTube videos and torrents, and I feel good about it. But it didn't used to be that way. I used to say that, I was being lazy and not getting anything accomplished because I was resting. And I would ignore my body's need for rest simply because my inner dialogue said, oh, we not working today? Oh, you lazy. Oh, girl, you lazy. But I'm so glad that I learned to listen to my body. And not only that, I started listening to my body instead of my inner critic because I've been enjoying the rest that I've experienced as of late. So, yeah. I'm proud of myself for that, okay? I am proud of myself for that. Now, before I move on to the sixth and final type, I want to ask you a question. Which of the 6 types of negative self-talk do you most identify with? Do you most resonate with? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you're getting some value from this video, would you mind giving it a thumbs up and share it on your social media sites? As you all know, this year I do have a goal to grow our DCTV community by helping 2022 multi-passionate entre leaders. It's already the month of May, and I know it seems like, wow, the year is going by so fast. The goal seems so big, but I just have that type of faith that it can happen, and I need your help with it. I am trying to help people discover their purpose, unlock their potential, and make an impact. So if you know someone who would benefit from the content that I produce consistently, please share it with them. I greatly appreciate it. All right, on to the 6th and final type of negative self-talk. This one is going to hit you, I'm telling you. Mind reading. Oh yes, mind reading. Now, this is when you tell yourself that you know what another person is thinking, and it's usually negative. It's usually negative. You imagine all sorts of terrible things that you think a person has said. Okay. You think a person has said, oh, I love it. Michelle McLeod said, many of us are like that, Dr. Charity. You just gave voice to how we who are overachievers rest and replenish. Yes, honey, they be like, oh, you need to rest. Hold on now. I will rest when I'm done. And when I do rest, Don't call me. Don't text me. I'm going to binge. I'm going to do all the things I want to do because that's how I rest. I'm glad you identify with me, sweetheart. I feel your pain and you feel mine. So God bless you for that. But listen, when we get into this mind reading, y'all, it's terrible because we do it all the time. We do it all the time. It's when we think we imagine all sorts of terrible things that we think a person has said or is saying about you. You imagine them doing something to frustrate you, anger you, disappoint you, reject you, hurt you in some way. And the thing is, no matter how well you know a person, the truth is that there are times when you have absolutely no idea what that person is thinking, but you find a way to tell yourself that you do. So as a result, you create unnecessary tension and adverse outcomes that could have a negative impact on your relationship, your friendships, your partnerships, or your job. And so these are the 6 types. I'm going to go through them really, really quickly again, just so you can see them. We have all 3 right here. Filtering, always, never dialogue, personalizing, and then we get to catastrophizing, polarizing, and mind reading. All of these, these are the negative types these are the 6 types of negative self-talk, And over the next 4 to 5 weeks, I am going to break down each one of these because I feel led to do so. Listen, I told you I'm on a mission. We got to get this mind right. We have to get this inner dialogue right because your success truly depends on it. There are so many overachievers. There are so many ambitious people. There are so many leaders who they fall prey to negative self-talk. And they feel like they have nobody to talk to because I'm in a leadership position. People expect me to, I got you, boo. I am the leader's leader. I am here for you. And so we're going to be going deeper into this. So next Monday, we are breaking down that first type, that filtering. And I'm going to give you examples, and I'm also going to show you how to combat that negative self-talk. Okay. So I want to thank you for joining me today as I, briefly gave an overview about the 6 types of negative self-talk that can hold you back from achieving your goals. And as I said, definitely join me over the next few weeks as we begin a new series on the types of negative self-talk. We're going to be talking about more specific, the examples, going deeper into them, including how to recognize when it pops up in your mind, when that inner critic starts to go off and it starts saying all of those things, and then how to transform it into positive thoughts and strategies for taking control of your inner dialogue. And I have something very, very special. I know time is of the essence. I have to get ready to go to class, but I want to share with you something major that is happening this week, y'all. I am trying not to go crazy over here because I'm just way too excited. But listen, the Mamas and Mentors, the International Mamas and Mentors virtual conference has been birthed, and it's going live. Okay. You can check us out, mamasandmentors.com. I'll put it in the chat right here for you. You can go and register. Registration is mamasandmentors.com. Registration is completely free. Okay, it's completely free. Now, of course, we have, if you want access to the videos and direct access to, if you want like direct access to, what's the name? Like speakers, their content, and also workbooks, journals, affirmations. I mean, a whole package. Then, of course, you can upgrade for a fee. But let me tell you, the registration is free and you do not want to miss it. This is not your average like Mother's Day women's type of conference. We are covering topics that mainstream media just does not talk about during this time. We are covering fertility difficulties. We're covering postpartum depression, body image issues after baby. We are covering oh my God, let me see. Thank you so much, sweetheart. We are covering I think that's Pastor McLeod, Lady McLeod. God bless you, dear. We are covering losing mama, grieving mama during Mother's Day. We're just covering so many things that everyone else who are just like, oh, I'm just so excited. I still have my mom, or I just gave birth to a baby. And there are women who are hurting because they're not there yet, or they're experiencing, baby, we got you. You are not alone. And so I encourage you to go to mamasandmentors.com, register for free. Make sure you do not want to miss it. It is this Friday and Saturday. God has blessed me to have all of these amazing women who are going to be coming to you and speaking to you. They've been where you are. They know how you feel, and you are supported. So please make sure that you check us out, and then share this conference with someone, because people are going to be healed. It's everything. It's not a church conference. It's a kingdom conference. We have everything covered. So make sure you join us. All right. And then don't forget to stay connected with me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss anything. And if you enjoyed this video or found any value in it, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like, give it a thumbs up, share this video on social media, stay connected with me everywhere at Dr. Charity TV. And as always, it's been a blessing to be able to motivate you on this beautiful Monday here in Guangzhou, China. And until next time, remember to think bigger. Oh, I love it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Listen, remember to think bigger. Remember to go farther. Remember to get this brain all together. Be bolder and never give up. I'll see you next time.